Guys, THG Energy launched back in 2011. Today, doing about $200,000 a month in revenue, up from $125,000 a month just a year ago. They work with over 1,000 folks, powering their businesses, powering their utilities. These are like schools, hospitals, et cetera. They help these folks report on gas emissions with tracking and measurement. That's what their software platform does. He charges $5 per meter per month as they scale, looking to grow now. They did a $10 million seed round back in 2019 at called a $50 million valuation, looking to raise $6 million now at hopefully close to a $75 million valuation. We'll see if we can get it done. Hey folks, my guest today is Daniel Fry. He's got 35 years of experience in the energy marketing and trading worlds, building and acquiring energy marketing companies. At THG, they've built more than 35 energy industry partnerships, to help companies expand revenue and product offerings to include sustainable and energy management data and technology. Follow along with the podcast at thgenergy.com. Daniel, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes.
All right. So just to be clear, this is a software platform, correct?
Yeah, it's a software as a service platform. We start with utility bills, and we work with more than 300,000 accounts, commercial, industrial, multi-facility accounts. We're in all 50 states, and we're in 20 countries. We help companies.
What does that mean? Sorry, when my audience hears you say 300,000 accounts, they don't know what an account means.
Sure.
Make that real.
So you can think about it as a utility meter or something that needs managed and measured to help you with your sustainability or your energy efficiency. So,
well, who's you? Is it me, the consumer that owns a house, or is it the local government that needs to charge me?
You can think of it if you're a business and you have a utility bill that you're paying and processing and tracking. That's an account for us. So we help companies pull together their sustainability efforts around electricity, natural gas, water, waste, recycling. So all of those typically start with a utility account. In some cases, they might be a diesel or a propane bill or something like that. But all of those, we put them in one spot. We provide auditable and verifiable greenhouse gas emissions tracking and measurement. And we also help customers identify energy savings through better energy management and particularly around electricity, an area called demand management or demand response.
And Daniel, when you say 300,000 utility meters, is it a 1-to-1 ratio of utility meter per company, or can one company have a 10,000 utility meters?
Yeah, so our typical customers are the multi-facility customers that are trying to manage many buildings and facilities, and they're paying and processing lots of utility bills. So you can think about it as a school district or a hospital with healthcare organizations everywhere, or banks with branches, or manufacturers with warehousing and manufacturing and distribution. So most of our clients have lots of buildings and facilities. They're trying to manage lots of utility accounts and pull that into one place.
So Daniel, how many unique schools, hospitals, banks do you work with?
Over 10,000 customers that comprise those 300,000 accounts.
Okay, so average 30 utility meters per account.
Yeah, that's correct.
Interesting. Okay, that's very, very helpful. Give me the pricing here. So what's the average customer pay you per month or per year to do all this?
Yeah, so first of all, the customer spends a lot of time paying and processing their own bills. A lot of that is manual, and it's old processes, and it's inefficient, and it doesn't gather the data that they need to be able to report to greenhouse gas emissions. So there are some new mandates around reporting requirements, as well as just a stronger drive to pull together this information. So we provide a much more efficient process for gathering and paying and processing your utility bill. And that actually saves the customer a lot of time and effort and money, and streamlines that process and provides a much better data platform than what most companies are used to. So we think about it in terms of, $5 per account per month to get started.
Per utility meter or per account?
per utility meter that we're measuring and managing.
Okay, so if the average account has 30 utility meters times 5, the average customer is paying you about $150 a month.
Yeah, that's correct, and that gives them really good access to the SaaS platform, all of the energy analytics. It helps them get started on greenhouse gas emissions. There's a lot more to that as customers want to engage, but that gives them a really good start on energy management, energy efficiency, and greenhouse gas emissions.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
And Daniel, how many folks full-time are you guys today?
We have 30 folks. 20 of them are in Tulsa and they work on data management. And then we have about 8 folks in Austin that are engineering focused and really help companies on their integration of meters and smart meter data and distributed energy resources, which is the other side of our business. We pull together a lot of multi-facility, multi-sourced data and put it in one spot. So if you're trying to track your solar panels and your batteries and your behind the meter information and integrating that into a platform, that's the other piece of our business.
Before we get to that, though, 300,000 utility instruments that you're installed on today at $5 a pop would mean you're doing about 1.5 million a month in revenue. Is that accurate?
That's accurate for that side of the business. There's also additional opportunities to.
Well, hold on, Daniel. Before you go away from that side of the business, though, so if you're doing 1.5 today, just so we can calculate growth rate, what was just that part of the business doing 1 year ago?
1 year ago, that same business was probably about 30% less.
So about $1 million a month.
We're in $1 million, yeah. And
Daniel, is that a month or a year? Just to be clear.
Per year.
Oh, got it. So it's not 1.5 million a month. It's $5 per year per meter.
Well, so there's a lot of nuance to that number, and there's a lot of different services and relationships around this. So although we track 300,000 accounts, we're actually engaged in about 20,000 active meters, and we're seeing an opportunity to expand to another 250,000, 300,000 accounts. So we haven't deployed our full service offering to.
So Daniel, I just want to make this really clear for the audience. So if you're deployed on 20,000 meters at $5 a meter, then you're doing about $100,000 a month on that part of the business.
Correct.
Across still 10,000 unique customers.
Correct. So
they each have 2 active meters on average then.
Well, so here's the opportunity, Nathan.
Daniel, hold on. Sorry. I want to just make sure I get the economics right. There's 10,000 unique customers with 2 meters each. So you have 20,000 active meters today at $5 a meter.
No, I'm sorry. We'll have to back up and look at this a little differently. So we've got 20,000 active accounts that we gather that $5 meter on, and that's probably about 1,000 customers. We have access to another 8,000, 10,000 customers that we've started to get their electricity data on, but we haven't fully deployed our services around. So when you look at total revenues and what we're engaged with today, we're in front of about 10% of our customers and starting to deploy a much broader offering to a much bigger population. So 20,000 active accounts. We've got access to around 300,000 accounts that we can start to engage this energy management and
got it. Sorry, Dan, I'll just try to, what I'm trying to focus on is your current paying customers. I understand you want to talk about the big market and what you have access to, but your customers, your paying customers, right? So you've got 1,000 active customers today with 20,000 active meters at $5 a meter, which would mean you're doing about $100,000 a month in revenue on that SaaS recurring fee today.
Correct. That is correct.
So then can we calculate growth rate? So 100 grand today, what were you at exactly 1 year ago?
We finished last year on an account recurring revenue basis of around $1.2 million.
Okay.
This year in 2022, we finished at $2.25 million. Some of that recurring revenue, some of that one-time revenue, and there's actually 2 revenue streams associated with that. So
hold on, Daniel. Sorry, hold on. We have to compare apples to apples. So if you're doing 100 grand a month today, recurring revenue, what were you doing exactly 1 year ago? Recurring revenue monthly?
Probably around $75,000 a year recurring revenue for 2021. So finished out.
So 1 year ago. So so March of 2022.
Yes.
What were you doing monthly? And
75,000 a month of recurring revenue.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And then you said you finished 2022 with a total of about 2.2 million in total revenue. So that's the recurring fees plus another 1.2 in what? Setup fees?
So recurring revenue of about 1.8 in total.
Hold on, that math doesn't work. If you're doing $75,000 a month.
So there's 2 components of our revenue. There's what we've talked about, the SaaS platform, which you've identified as $100,000 a month.
Yep.
And then we've got another component of energy management, advanced energy management, which is device and integration of demand response products, which is another product that we offer. So all in, we closed the year right at $2 million of annual recurring revenue, and have grown that. We're growing it at about $500,000 a quarter of annual recurring revenue. So we should end up the year at the end of 2023 somewhere in the range of $4 million of annual recurring revenue.
That's helpful. The second product line you just talked about, the device and integration demand response, that's also a recurring fee?
Correct.
Okay, got it. And so that's like another 100 grand a month there?
It's in that range, probably a little less.
Okay. So all in today, like last month, you did about $180,000 a month in revenue, something like that.
Yeah, our revenues for the first quarter of this year were up significantly from that. Probably in the range of 200,000 a month of recurring revenue and moving up. So we have seen pretty strong growth in the fourth quarter and the first quarter of this year.
That's great. Thanks for breaking that all down for us. So what's your plan? You have 1,000 paying customers today. You've already identified how big the market is. How do you go get the other 10,000 customers?
Yeah, so we start with the electricity utility bill, and we're working with a lot of our channel partners. And these channel partners are typically energy suppliers or consultants in the energy space that help these end users purchase or supply electricity or natural gas. So they have portfolios of customers and they have a traditional gas supply, electricity supply relationship with those customers. So these channel partners, we private label our solution. We allow them to expand their services around energy efficiency, sustainability reporting. It gives them more revenue. It builds a deeper relationship with those clients, and it allows them to actually, build a broader base of energy management and sustainability. So our channel partners bring a lot of customers to us that are starting to look for those kinds of solutions. We private label it. Like you've identified, you said we've got 35 channel partners that utilize our SaaS platform. These are people that are in the market that have portfolios of commercial customers that they serve and supply. So our plan and what we've done is integrate the electricity bill with some of these large suppliers, and then be able to go in and offer expanded services. So we've already got your electricity bill. We've already got a load profile on your energy use.
Daniel, I've got to jump in here. Sorry, just because we're short on time. So quick back and forth here would be ideal. Talk to me how you've capitalized the business. Have you raised capital or are you bootstrapped?
We have raised $10 million of seed A capital.
What year was that?
2019.
Okay.
And we're in the process of raising another $6 million. That will accelerate this growth that we see in front of us and really allow us to get to profitability and grow the business to north of $10 million.
And most folks in their seed round, you mentioned you did a seed round in 2019 for $10 million. Most folks in their seed round are selling 15 to 20% of the company. Were you in that same range?
Yes.
Okay. So you're like a 60 million valuation, 50 million valuation back then.
Correct.
Interesting. What do you think your valuation would be today as you're trying to raise 6 million?
It is interesting. If you look at a multiple on revenue, we think we can get to $5 million of annual recurring revenue and a software platform that really justifies the investment. So if you look at that as maybe a 15 multiple in today's market, that's in the 75 to $million range, something like that. Is probably where both the market for sustainable products, software, and that kind of achievable growth probably values the company.
Are you guys burning right now? Or are you guys profitable?
We are not yet profitable, but we can see profitability within the next year.
That's great. So when you say burning, you're talking like 50,000 a month in that burn, 100 grand or more?
We're probably in the 100 grand burn rate, but we are reducing that significantly as we move into 2023.
How are you doing that? Team cuts, something else?
Just growth in revenue and adoption. So revenue growth will be stronger than 70% this year, and really see a lot of opportunity around it.
Yep. Now, if you don't get the growth and you're still burning 100 grand per month, do you have a 12 months cash runway in the bank today?
Yeah, we have a great capital partner currently, George Kaiser Family Foundation, $6 billion foundation that's funded our seed round and has continued to support us as needs come along.
That's great. All right, we're out of time. Great story here. Let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, your favorite book.
My favorite book have to be Team of Rivals with Yates on Lincoln.
Yep. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I follow a lot of CEOs and really try to look at that. Obviously, Elon Musk has changed the world. So if I had to pick one, it would have to be Elon.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building THG Energy?
We've done a lot of work around our CRM, HubSpot, and have developed a lot of CRM capabilities through that tool. So leaning on it more and more nowadays.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Well, I've learned to function on 6 hours and seem to be pretty productive on 6 to 7 hours.
And what's your situation, Daniel? Married, single, kids?
Married for a long time, father of 2, grandfather of 4.
Wow. Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 62.
62. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20 years old.
Life is a journey, and just enjoy the ride.
Guys, THG Energy launched back in 2011. Today, doing about $200,000 a month in revenue, up from $125,000 a month just a year ago. They work with over 1,000 folks, powering their businesses, powering their utilities. These are like schools, hospitals, etc. They help these folks report on gas emissions with tracking and measurement. That's what their software platform does. He charges $5 per meter per month as they scale, looking to grow now. They did a $10 million seed round back in 2019 at called a $50 million valuation, looking to raise $6 million now at hopefully close to a $75 million valuation. We'll see if we can get it done. Daniel, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.